and welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be doing my January TBR. So this is a little early, but it's just, next month is going to be all of like the wrapping up 2021 and stuff, so I wanted to get this done nice and early. In December, I only had to read 3 books, and so one was a debut, which I ended up using Iron Widow for. One was a purple cover, which I ended up using Once Upon a Broken Heart. Is it more blue than purple? Probably. Am I counting it anyway? Yes. And then also Dragonhaven, which at the time of filming I haven't read, but it's like the next book I'm going to pick up, so I'm going to finish it. Like, it usually takes me a day or two, and it's like the middle of the month, so I'll be fine. January, a new year, the exact same TBR game, because I haven't finished the TBR game. I want to make a new board, I think, but I can't do that until I finished it another time. Like, I can't just stop in the middle of a game. And also it takes so much effort to make a new board, and I don't really want to do that. So let's get into it. So let's see how many spins we have to do this month. 7. Oh boy. Spin number 1. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is a debut. So 7 spins. Luckily, I don't start back in college until like the 17th of January, so that's nice for me. But 7's still like a good few books. But like, it's definitely manageable. I can read 7. I can read 7. The first spin was a debut, and for this, I'm going way back for the debut. And that is going to be Elantris by Brandon Sanderson. This was his debut novel, so it counts. It came out in 2005. And I haven't read it yet. I don't currently have the physical book on me, but I'm getting it for Christmas. So I'll be getting it soon enough. And I have read all of Brandon Sanderson's books so far. I've only read like 5. Physically or ebook, because I wear it Skyward as an ebook. But I think that they actually have the audiobook for this on SCRIBD, so I might listen along, because that's the way I prefer to read fantasy, but I haven't been able to get the audiobooks for his other stuff. So I don't know what way I'll read it. If the audiobook is any good, please tell me. I don't really know what this one is about, but I know that like some people really love it, some people really don't love it, they think it's his worst book, all of this. So a range of opinions. I'm excited to see where I fall on the spectrum, and I do know that it's nearly a zombie-like thing that's happening, and they're all kind of basically quarantined in this city, and there was supposed to be an arranged marriage between like a prince and a princess, I think. I know that Cassidy really loves it, and so hopefully I will agree with her. Spin number 2. 5. 1, 2. A booktuber fave. So then spin number 2 was a booktuber fave. I'm kind of going to leave this one up to you because it's the same booktuber and it's the same faves and it's the same author. So I will either read Spellslinger or Trader's Blade. So Trader's Blade is up in my granny's, but as I said, I start back college on the 17th, so I will be up there to get the book and read it. So I will kind of leave that decision up to you. What one do you think I should read first? As I said, so this is a booktuber fave, and the booktuber I am choosing is JD Ray Reads because she loves these. So up to you. So Spellslinger follows, I think, a 16-year-old boy who is supposed to be undergoing like these spellcaster trial things, and he loses his magic before they happen. And then he kind of teams up with Farius to try and trick everyone into thinking that he still has his magic. And that sounds fun. And then Trader's Blade follows Greatcoat, who worked for the king, but the king, I think maybe he was overthrown, killed, something. And he gave them one final task. And I think it's like a couple of years later or something, and they're all like back together to try and complete these tasks. So I'm excited to read either of them. I heard that Sebastian de Castell has a very like funny writing style, even when dark things are happening, and I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. Spin number 3. 4. An adult fantasy. Number 3 was an adult fantasy, so ooh, it's getting chunky very quickly. For this, I'm going to go with The Name of All Things by Jen Lyons. So I read the first book, The Run of Kings, back in October, and I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. It was great. And then I wasn't able to get the second book. I'm finally getting it for Christmas, so another one that I'm desperate to pick up, and also another one that is pretty chunky. So this series, it follows, well, the second book I believe follows a different character, but the first book anyway follows Kieran, and he is a pirate's son, and there are kind of two different timelines. So in the further in the future timeline, he has been like sold into slavery, and then in the past timeline he catches someone summoning a demon, and then that starts a whole string of events, and he ends up being claimed as the lost son to one of the royal families, and obviously chaos happens. And I really loved it, and cannot wait to read the second one. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna better read this with my friend Shay, who is not on YouTube. 2. An author I have already read from. So I was really kind of struggling to try and pick books for these kind of things, like an author I've read before, and then I realized there's an author I've read a lot from, and because of the way the live shows are, I forget the dates and stuff. So Dragonhaven is the November-December one, and so the live show will probably be in like mid-January, but the next book is actually only January / early February, because they don't read it until like the week of the live show. I'm gonna pick up City of Dragons for this one. I've read from her before. And yeah, so this is the January pick. The live show I think is gonna be in February. So yeah, this is just over 400 pages. So it's a very small for Hob. And yeah, and so I will like blast through this. I always do. And I still haven't read the second one, so I almost looked at the back there and I was like, don't spoil yourself for the second one. So I'm intrigued about what will happen in this series. This is the 4th series in the realm of Elderlings. So the first series follows Fitz, who was the illegitimate son of the Prince in Waiting, King in Waiting. And he was basically left on the keep and was like, hey, not my problem anymore. And then his father flees to the countryside, and Fitz is brought up by Stablemaster, and then eventually he is kind of made use of by training him to be the Royal Assassin. And this is the 4th series, and it is the Dragon series, the Rainwile Chronicles. And so it takes place in the Rainwilds, and it is all about them trying to get these creatures to another part of the world. That's all I can gather from it so far. And I didn't love the first one, but I still really enjoyed it. And yeah, as I said, I still haven't actually read the second one, but I'm gonna read it pretty soon. So this will be in January. Spin number 5. That is in the 6th. 1, 2, 3, 4. A book that was released before I was born. And so the next one, I really hate this space because I put it there because I didn't think I would land on it so much. And I've landed on it like 3 or 4 times now. And I'm running out of things that came out before I was born that I'm interested in. I read a lot of new releases or newer stuff. And that is not newer. And I'm gonna regret this because I already have a pretty substantial TBR. But I'm putting The Wheel of Time on my TBR. Which is chunky. And it's like 15 books long. I haven't watched the TV show. I'm gonna watch it pretty soon when my exams are done. And I've heard great things about the TV show. I've also heard pretty good things about the books, though there's a couple of people I know that really don't like them, which makes me nervous. I don't know why I did this, because I kept saying over and over, I was like, I'm not going to start The Wheel of Time until I've like finished The Realm of Elderlings or finished the Cosmere, because I cannot be in 3 huge series at one time / huge worlds. And like, it's even worse with The Wheel of Time because it is genuinely one series, whereas at least this is split up, and the Cosmere is also split up. And I'm adding it to my TBR, okay? I will say, I am allowed to switch it out if I change my mind. Because, I mean, as I said, Elantris is already on there. The Name of All Things, like, those are really big books. And then Wheel of Time is pretty big again. So, I will allow myself to switch it out if I really need to. It kind of follows that like concept of like history repeats itself, the same cycles happening over and over again. You know, we love time. And so the first book is actually called The Eye of the World, I believe. And I don't really know what it's about, but it's getting a lot of hype because of the show, so I'm reading it. Spin number 6 is a 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. An author I've already read from. So once again, I was like, what's an author I've read from before? And I read from Ringe Pecco. I read The Never Tilting World and The Ever Cruel Kingdom. And as you have noticed, I have not been putting a lot of YA books on this TBR because I'm pretty burnt out on YA right now. But I'm hoping by like January I will be back on it. And judging by this, I'm going to burn myself out on the adult fantasy. So we're going to give myself a YA fantasy to break that all up. I read their other series, well, one of their other series, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm getting the second and third one for Christmas, so I should probably actually start the series. And so this follows T, who is a bone witch / necromancer, and she accidentally brings her brother back to life. And, you know, people aren't really impressed by this. And she is sent away to get trained in this new ability. And I'm very excited about this. I feel like this one will be quite different from their other series because The Never Tilting World was very tropey, cute, fluffy. Like, it was a really good, fun time. Whereas I feel like this one will probably be a little more serious because of like the whole necromancy thing. Also, the writing is pretty big in here, so that's nice. So yeah, so I'm not really sure what to expect from this because I feel like it's going to be quite different, but I'm hoping I'm still going to have fun with it. So yeah, so that is book number 6. Hopefully our final spin is a 9. 1, 2, 3. So that is color. And our color is going to be... Did that go up above the thing? Let me try that again because it got stuck. It's falling apart. Okay, we're gonna just get rid of this. There we go. Alright, now let's try. And that is a dark blue. And so then the final book was a blue cover, kind of a darker blue cover. And I actually, because like I was trying to figure out what I wanted to use for what prompts, and I was originally going to use this book for another prompt, and then I was like, I couldn't find a dark blue book, and then I was like, wait, this is dark blue, and so I can use that and then use this thing, and so it all worked out in the end. And so I'm going to be reading Where the Drowned Girls Go by Sean McGuire, which is a pretty good choice on my part because that is very small. So the books come out in January and the audiobooks are put up on SCRIBD pretty quickly, so I should be able to read it in January. And it takes me a couple, like 2 hours to read the audiobook, so it would seem that I need that because of the size of the books I'm choosing. And yeah, so this is the 7th book in the We Were Children series, and it follows a character that we have met previously who lived in a kind of watery world, and I'm intrigued by this. I didn't love the last one. The last one was like a horse girl's dream, and I was never into horses. Horses kind of terrify me, to be 100% honest. And yeah, so I'm hoping this world will be more interesting to me, plus it's a character we've already met, so overall I'm hoping I will enjoy this more. So that is all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!